I started collecting baseball cards in 1951. At that time, I was buying them a penny a pack, a card and a piece of bubble gum, and I bought them at Ray's Market about a block away from my house. I collected primarily Red Sox. I loved Red Sox and would try to get as many as I could. Billy Goodman was my favorite. I also collected a few football cards, and being a Tennessee fan, I loved Burt Reichenauer, anything in the Tennessee orange, and this was the only Tennessee card that there was around at that time. The second phase of amassing the collection that we're now selling began in the late 80s, early 90s. I bought a reprint set of the 1952 Topps, which I couldn't have afforded when I was a kid. And so this sort of set me on the trail of trying to amass a larger collection. I began trying to get the cards that I could not have afforded in those early years, but I could afford now. And over a period of time, I was able to put together virtually every set from 1950 through 1979 in both Bowman and Topps. Of course, Bowman went out early on. And so that really formed the core of the collection that I have today. Anyone who collected baseball cards in the early 90s was aware of the Wagner. So in 1996, I saw an ad in Sports Collectors Digest for a Honus Wagner, and it immediately captured my attention, and I thought, here's a chance for me to own a Wagner. Never thought I could, but here's one that I think I possibly can afford. When I originally bought the Wagner in 1996, I did know of Bill Haber's ownership and the fact that he wrote the back of baseball cards, and that was important to me, but at that time it was a baseball card. In 2014, I learned from Dan Imler that the provenance of this card, going all the way back to Willie Ratner and Wirt Gammon and then Bill Haber, the card took on different meaning. It became, to me, something other than a baseball card. I really had become the caretaker of a piece of Americana, a very important, significant part of the baseball card collecting community. And the people who owned it before me were extremely influential in maintaining this great hobby that we've been a part of for a long time. And so I felt very honored to have been the fourth owner of this particular card. Legacy has always been important in our family, and my wife and I have come to a point in our life when we realize that it's very important that we continue that legacy with our children. And I can't clip the Wagner up into 8 pieces and give a part to each of my grandchildren. So what's really important to me at this point is having a legacy that I can leave them. And so the catalog that will be a part of this sale will be the legacy that I can leave them. They always can look at that catalog and realize that their grandfather owned a part of Americana in owning this card and the legacy that it represents. And I feel honored to be a part of the baseball collecting hobby in Americana. Only 4 people have owned this card up to this point. Another one will own it after this auction takes place, and possibly even many others after that. But they can't take away from me or my family that we were a part of the original owners. Willie Ratner, Wirt Gammon, Bill Haber, Ross Green.